It's fair to say that 2023 has been a huge year for drivers, fairway woods and hybrids, but there's one club for me that stood out than the rest for mid to high handicap golfers to help you with those longer yardages. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson, welcome to this YouTube channel. Today we are testing the best 7 wood of 2023. Yes guys, you got that right, the best 7 wood of 2023. All these clubs are huge names, all these clubs have 21 degrees of loft, and all these clubs are designed to help you play better golf off the tee, from the fairway, out of the rough, pretty much everywhere. So guys, we're going to kick things off today. We're going to have 3 areas of where these could be the best 7 wood of the year. First one's looks, second one's sound and feel, and the third and final one is overall performance. You see, I happen to think that all 3 of these clubs are spectacular looking. In fact, I've not even introduced you yet to contestants. So first of all, we have the Callaway Paradigm 7 wood. This thing looks absolutely gorgeous. It has jailbreak AI, it has lots and lots of technology to help you get a better strike. We have the Stealth 2 7 wood that has the speed pocket, very similar to the jailbreak AI, help you maintain ball speed on off-centre hits. It also features twist face and lots more. And then we also have the Ping G430 Max 7 wood. You'll see all these clubs have 21 degrees of loft. They are all a 7 wood, and they're all designed just to help you get a little bit of a higher ball flight from those pesky distances. So if we are talking looks, which one looks the best? Which one is sexiest? So the first port of call would be shelf appeal. Which one would you be drawn to more on the shelf? So the Stealth has that black and red finish. I quite like the look of that. I do like that. I think if you're a TaylorMade fan, you're going to be massively into that. The Ping G430, I feel like they've just absolutely nailed it with looks this year. I love those lime green accents. I love how the clubs all look very similar, and I love how just simplistic they make it look. Paradigm for me is quite an interesting one because it's got a really kind of strange wave sole there, almost like a V-steel design. Very interesting to help you get better turf interaction. You can see it better from that angle there. Look how sleek and thin that face is. Then we turn it on top. This is what really does it for me. I love that kind of carbon effect on top that meets the matte effect at the front. That just splits the head up really, really nicely for me. That is an absolute work of beauty. So this obviously isn't shelf appeal. This is, I suppose this would be down at the ball appeal. How does this compare to the other two? I think this is very, very difficult to split them up. I think for me, the Callaway probably takes it just on that kind of top line appeal there. You know what, it's very difficult though. I think it's between these two. I do like the shelf appeal of the TaylorMade and I like how simplistic it looks, but I love that kind of matte finish on the Ping, and that for me just looks really, really, really good. I'm going to struggle to split them, but I'm going to go first, second and third just on looks. And this is a very, very interesting one. I always forget the terminology here, but this is very opinional. This is like, I could have a different day and I would prefer a different one, but today I prefer to look at the Paradigm. So for me, that is 1-0 to that. Now, sound and feel is something which, subjective, that's the word I was looking for. This is totally and utterly subjective. So guys, this is my personal opinion. I quite like the Paradigm driver as well, the look of that this year. So maybe it is that effect that creeps into it with that carbon composite crown. Now, another thing which is hugely subjective is sound and feel when it comes to these golf clubs. Now, I mean, this really does look so good down at the ball, by the way. I love how you can see those white lines on the face as well. Sound and feel, is that important to you? A lot of people say not. I think it probably is quite important, probably more important than people will make out. And I got that quite heely. It still sounded quite nice, it still felt quite nice, and it's still gone the yardage, which for me is exactly why people are going to want to test these golf clubs. That was a horrible strike actually. It's still done okay out there. Now the next club I want to try is the TaylorMade Stealth 2. The TaylorMade Stealth 2 driver obviously has the red carbon face, so this is almost like a slightly different animal compared to the driver. We have the speed pocket technology, we do have twist face on there, and we also have a nice glossy carbon crown, and I like this as well, the little kind of laser etching just to separate the face from the head. That's good. Now for me, one of the best sounding clubs of the year is the TaylorMade Stealth 2 Titanium 3 wood and 5 wood. They sound absolutely gorgeous, and we all know that sound does equate to feel. What about this one? Again, quite a heely strike. That definitely felt a little bit, I don't know, it felt a little bit, I felt I could tell more what was going on with the TaylorMade than the Callaway. What about the Ping? Because we all know that Ping over the years have just let themselves down with that feel, with that sound. The G425 sounded terrible in my opinion. Again, very, very subjective, I know, but the G430 range does sound and feel better. What about this one? See, that feels firm for me. It feels a little bit hard. It feels more like the G425 did. For me, this is probably the worst sounding one of the lot, and that's hard to say because the driver does sound phenomenal now. But for me, yes, it does its job. It certainly doesn't feel as good as the other two. The sound and feel winner for me has to be the TaylorMade Stealth 2. It really, really does feel and sound nice even on those off-centre hits. Is this an important factor, guys? You tell me. I personally think it is. Guys, stay tuned for the performance because I've been in the studio testing all three of these clubs against each other to see which one performs best for me. Now, for people watching at home who are thinking, James, how on earth can you possibly rate a club on sound, on feel and on looks just with one shot? Now, I have reviewed all these clubs, guys. If you want to see that, then make sure you do check out the links in the description. I'll put them there. And make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Almost 60% of you guys aren't subscribed who watch these videos. That breaks my heart, guys. I hope you're enjoying them. I hope you're liking them. Make sure you subscribe if you are. Obviously, I've tested these clubs to quite a strong degree, and that's how I've come to my whole conclusion on how I like the sound of them, the feel of them, the look of them, from testing them in quite a lot of depth. I have tested them all today in the simulator, because if you are going to compare clubs for performance, it's quite important you do it on the same day with the same swings. The results are quite interesting, so make sure you stay tuned. And you can see there that it's going to be quite tight because there's three totally different strikes there. We've got one in the left-hand rough, one in the middle of the fairway, and one in the right-hand side of the fairway, but all very similar distances, which for me is so important with a club like this. You're buying it for that forgiveness. You're buying it for a distance where if you don't quite get it, you're still going to get it, if that makes sense. So you see, this has been quite an interesting test for me so far because everything that we've discussed has been pretty subjective, pretty opinional. Now, when it comes to how these clubs perform, that isn't subjective, that isn't opinional, that is pure and utter fact. Which one is the best? Which one gives you more bang for your buck? Which one is most consistent? And let's be fair, which one gives you the most forgiveness, the most versatility, the most confidence that you can play the best golf possible? Let's jump in the studio, guys. Let's see just how these three clubs have performed in relation to each other. Then let's jump out here and see just what shots I can play, how versatile they all are, and which one I'm going to crown the best 7-wood of 2023. So guys, just as normal, I tested these golf clubs inside just to check for numbers to see which ones are going to perform best, which ones are going to go the distance I want, which ones are going to be the most consistent, and generally which ones are going to be most playable. So I tested obviously the TaylorMade, the Callaway and the Ping, and I actually really enjoyed this test inside because this is where you do get a really good feel of what you like the look of, what you like the feel of, and exactly how you can shape these shots and exactly what kind of ball flights you can expect. So looking at the numbers, as you'll see here, we did have very similar numbers. You can see there's only a yard in it between them all. However, the TaylorMade had more standard deviation by a couple of yards, so the Ping obviously looking quite good there at 220 with only 4 yards standard deviation, but a little bit lower spin as well. I would expect a little bit more spin on a 7-wood there. Interestingly, the Callaway has the most ball speed out of the lot, but the most spin. Let's get out there, let's see exactly which one I think is the best club for your book here. Obviously 3 very good performing clubs, and as you can see top left, all very similar peak heights as well, which is what we want from a 7-wood. So very interesting results there, all very similar, which I would expect they are going to be. Now, one of the huge factors when deciding if to put a 7-wood in your bag for me is that is going to take away a club. It might take away your 3-wood, it might take away your 5-wood, it might take away your 5-iron. So how versatile can these clubs be? Can I play a low one if I need to? It's quite a windy day today, so the 7-wood isn't the prime club that you might pick, but obviously you're not going to go and buy both because they're quite expensive nowadays. One thing which I think stands out from the rest is that hosel on the Ping G430. You can see that I've now cranked that down to be a lower loft, and this is one of the things which TaylorMade and Callaway haven't done. They haven't put adjustable hosels in these clubs. So for me, Ping might just be one little step ahead of the game there because you're not losing that club. You could knock it down to be a 5-wood and then you're kind of okay. I've got the Callaway first. I'm going to try and play a nice little low shot down here. Obviously these clubs aren't designed to go low with where the MOI is placed and the amount of loft on them, but you can still sort of play some little guiders down there. I quite like that little low fade. It's still not exactly a stinger, but it was a lot lower than the shots that I have been playing in reviews of this Callaway Paradigm 7-wood. Then we move on to the TaylorMade Stealth 2 7-wood, again 21 degrees, jam-packed full of technology. I don't need to tell you any more about what's in there. This thing is designed to help you get the ball, well, Airborne, which is going to work away from this test. Now, not everybody who buys a 7 wood is going to want to play a low one from time to time, but quite a lot of people are. There are more players than ever putting these clubs in the bag, which is why I wanted to bring you this video. Again, this thing feels and sounds so good. I really wish it did have that slight adjustable hosel on it, just like you do get in the titanium version, although the titanium version is quite a bit more expensive, so that's why obviously it has that. I feel like this looks like it could be versatile. The head shape looks a tiny bit smaller. Look at that. That was really impressive. Like, I thought this was going to be a foregone conclusion as to what we can do with these clubs, but that was really, really impressive. I'm going to play that ball flight again, because that was really, really, really gorgeous. Now we move on to the ping. So the ping is now playing 1.5 degrees less. This should be really, really well easier to get that lower ball flight, but with the weight at the back of this club, this is designed to move centre of gravity back to enhance MOI and just make it more forgiving and easier to launch. So even with knocking that loft down, is this going to be the answer? Remember guys, I've done reviews on all 3 of these clubs, so make sure you check them out if you want to. Can we play a bit of a lower one with this ping? Oh yeah, that was really easy. That was so easy just to get down there, and that's gone quite a long way just because of that loft change, and obviously I've tried to play it a little bit lower. Guys, for me, I think I'm going to say the Ping G430 is up there as the best 7 wood of the year, just because you get that adjustability. You could loft it up, you could loft it down, you can do pretty much whatever you want with it. It's not the best looking, it's not the best feeling, but I think for performance wise, I'm quite impressed with this. I did mention in my review of it, the face does start to mark up quite quickly. I've only hit really 20-30 shots outside with this, probably not even that, and you can see I've just had a couple of kind of dirty ones there that have marked that face up, so that might put you off a little bit. But I must say, I think realistically, we don't have a club that runs away with it. They're all kind of beautiful in their own right, and I don't think you'll be disappointed with any of these clubs. But for me, the G430 takes it just down to that adjustability and versatility. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Smash that subscribe button if you want to see more, and comment below what would you crown as the best 7 wood of 2023. See you at the same time tomorrow. Bye.